How do you go from nearly 30 degrees to, it must be at least 5 degrees here at the moment. I'm freezing, but have a look at that view.
This episode was conducted with the approval of the Department of Natural Resources and Environment, Tasmania.
We're at Ted's Beach, Lake Pedder. We pulled up here perhaps for at least a couple of nights, depending on the weather. It's very pretty. I love Lake Pedder. It's always been in my mind. In fact, many moons ago we had a colour swatch for painting a room called Lake Pedder. Slightly different blue from what we're seeing out behind me at the moment. But it's always been there in the top of my mind to come back to Lake Pedder. All the wildflowers are blooming, so it adds that touch of beauty to what is already a stunning landscape. We did look down at the beach, but access was very ordinary. There isn't much room on the beach to put a van. So we decided to come up behind the toilet block. Good choice, I think. What do you think, Ronnie? Is this okay? Yep.
In Tasmania's southwest wilderness lies a lake with a deep story. Lake Pedder was formed around 10,000 years ago from glacial meltwater. The original lake was smaller and extraordinary, with a rare pink quartz sand beach and dunes found nowhere else on Earth. In the early 1970s, the Serpentine Junee rivers were dammed for hydropower. The water rose, swallowing the original shoreline. Today, Lake Pedder and Lake Gordon form Australia's largest freshwater body, generating electricity at the Gordon Power Station. But its flooding also sparked a movement, one that led to the world's first green political party. And beneath a calm surface lies a very different lake, and a story still debated today.
Can I help you?
Ron has shown little enthusiasm for our move to Lake Pedder. Not sure what there is to interest him, and the weather has turned distinctly Tasmanian. This is after he packed away his winter clothes. I told him it would not be a good move.
So this is the veteran Huon pine. I remember this from when we visited last time. These are all the tree rings. 2,200 years old at the time of salvage.
But what helps put him in a better frame of mind is the discovery of a restaurant at Lake Pedder Resort, Strathgordon, and the Pool of the Gordon Dam in all its magnificence as us visiting it twice. Other points of interest in the area include the Serpentine Dam, the McPartland Pass Canal, and the sculpture named Bitumen Bones.
Cold and wet. Could go down there. Do we really want to?
Oh, no, I'll go down there when it's sunny.
Yeah. It's scary. It's a bloody long way down.
The area is also very popular for fishing, kayaking, and of course hiking.
Good luck. took you about 10 minutes to come up there. It's a good job. Pardon?
That was a bit of a work.
Yeah, I bet. How do you feel?
Good.
Yeah. I was filming you from up here and I was starting to get vertigo.
Oh.
I had to scooch back into the against the wall. It's funny, you know, I didn't feel any vertigo yesterday when we were here. With the sun shining, it's such a glorious day at Lake Pedder, so we're trying to get in as much as possible just in case we get a bit more Tasmanian weather tomorrow. So the water flowing through this canal is on its way to generate electricity in the Gordon Power Station. The McPartland Pass Canal is a liquid link between the Lake Pedder impoundment and Lake Gordon. Lake Pedder on the left of the road ahead provides about 42% of the water that passes through the power station's turbines.
The sculpture named Bitumen Bones can be visited on Gordon River Road. A striking piece of work, it sits with the dramatic Sentinel Range as its backdrop. We are beginning to show signs of frustration with our fellow human beings. This couple spent 20 minutes preening and taking photos of themselves on this sculpture. It seems we weren't the only ones that were frustrated by waiting. Even the wildlife was looking hard at what was going on.
We've been at Lake Pedder now for 3 nights, 3 wonderfully relaxing and enjoyable nights. The weather has been just gorgeous. Maybe a little bit of rain, but nothing to be worried about. Now that I'm getting into the rhythm of Tasmania, I'm beginning to see a bit of a pattern. During the week it's very quiet, and if you really enjoy a bit of peace and quiet, these sort of locations are ideal during the weekdays. But as the weekend comes along and you have your weekend recreation campers, they start to get very busy. And Ted's Beach last night, I don't think you could spare a single spot on the beach between all the campers. Sort of changes the vibe a little bit. So if you like quiet camping, all of a sudden you have a lot more people, the music's on loud, there are a lot more people using the facilities. Like for example, when we went down to look at the sunset last night, there was barely a spot to sit because of all the people doing the same. I think for us that's a time to move on. When you come to these remote, pristine, beautiful spots, for us it's about the peace, the tranquility, the landscape around us. There's plenty of time to be at busier places with lots of people around us. That's not a problem. But in these spots I think we just prefer the peace and quiet. So for us today's the day we move on.
I know it's hard to believe, but I think I'm ready.
After leaving Ted's Beach at Lake Pedder, we settled back into Mount Field National Park campground. This is a cost-effective base to explore the Styx Tall Tree Conservation Park and Junee River Cave.
I've coined a new phrase. I'm going to call our little adventures gentle adventures. And today we're off on a gentle adventure. We've come up the Styx Road into the Styx Valley. So far, the Styx Valley Road is pretty good. It is a logging road, so it does have gravel, good gravel. Do watch out for logging trucks though.
Well, the last thing we expected was to find a tree this size across the road. It gives a new meaning to the word Styx. Thankfully, we weren't under that one when it fell.
Weather's rather Tasmanian today. We've got rain, sun. The sun is trying to burn the clouds off, so hopefully with a bit of luck and good management we've got there when that's happening. We don't get too wet. And we're going to follow some of the smaller walking tracks or walking circuits to have a look at some big trees. I understand that these trees or these parts of the conservation area have been saved. A lot of effort went into doing so. But we'll find out as we go on one of our gentle adventures. Anyway, let's try the first one, which is the carbon circuit. Another one of those gorgeous Tasmanian forests. Please take photos, leave no marks. World.
There are a number of tracks in this conservation area, from the easy 600-metre walk with boardwalk and viewing platforms to the more challenging Tolkien track. The hiker can find giant ash trees given names such as Gandalf's staff, the chapel and cave trees. The carbon walk took us about 1.5 hours, but we were strollers. Of particular note were the varieties fruiting fungi and the opportunity to walk the trunk of a fallen giant ash. The day was not without its challenges. While a map is provided by the National Park Service, we were unable to follow it well and found ourselves on forestry roads that were less than ideal.
We're at the Tolkien track, but it's not a very well defined one. I think it's going to be full of leeches. Don't go too far, Ronnie.
We started the Tolkien walk, but had to ask for help to navigate the trail, eventually deciding we were better not attempting it at all. But despite these challenges, we really enjoyed the day.
Junee State Reserve. We're going to go and have a look at a cave, the Junee Cave, which apparently is about 30 metres long and it travels under the mountain carrying a creek. The road in is unsealed and it's single lane, but otherwise pretty good. Here we go, the Junee Cave walking track. No bikes or dogs permitted. Fair enough.
The Junee Cave walking track is an easy 5 kilometres on a mostly unsealed road from the township of Maydena. The 500-metre walk follows the bank of the Junee River, and unlike so many watercourses that we have seen in Tasmania, the Junee River has no tannin staining. Uniquely, this river's waters flow out from a limestone cave. The limestone acts to filter the water of any tannins, leaving a crystal clear flow. The cave entrance is large and can be viewed from a wooden platform after a short set of stairs. We would recommend this short walk to anyone visiting the area. Our time in this part of Tasmania's Southwest National Park has come to an end, but will leave lasting memories of breathtaking scenery and magnificent giant trees.
If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe. Press the like button and leave a comment.